Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be testing out the new Loreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation and their new Loreal Infallible More Than Concealer. So I bought these myself from Superdrug. It was actually 3 for 2, so I got all 3 of them for the price of 2. So I think I paid like £20, £21, something like that, when it should have been 30. So hallelujah. Now I have got a few messages asking me to test it, which is why I bought it. But me personally, this doesn't sound like something that I would usually go for. I mean, fresh wear, it sounds very light coverage. It doesn't sound like me. I'm more of a full coverage matte type of girl, you know, because of my oily skin. Also, I'm looking a bit grey because I have already gone in with the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. I've only used this like twice, but if you want like a drugstore dupe, Revolution Pro does do the blur stick as well, and they're kind of the same thing. They're that kind of, what can I call it, like very kind of like a professional but in a stick type of thing. If you've tried that Benefit like pore blurring, it makes the skin super smooth and it also does fill out the pores. So yeah, if you were looking for a drugstore dupe, Revolution Pro does do one, and it's bigger. So let me see how many grams you get in here actually. So you get 30 grams in the Revolution Pro and you get 28 grams in the Milk Makeup. Okay, so you only get 2 grams more, but they look bigger. So back to the foundation. When I went into Superdrug, they had like this one, and they also had a Pro Matte formula, and the Pro Matte definitely seems to be more up my alley. But I've checked like online, and definitely in store there was no shade for me, but I've checked online on Boots as well as Feel Unique, and there seems to be only 5 shades. Can you guys see that? And the darkest shade is called Sand, that one right there. So I don't know if they have darker shades, maybe they do, but they just don't carry it in the UK. I'm not too sure. But this 24-hour mattifying foundation seems to be like the formula I would go for, whereas with the Fresh Wear foundation, it says available in 26 shades. So this one definitely has more shades, and even 26 shades is not amazing. I mean, most people are doing 30, 40, 50, maybe even 60 shades nowadays, so 26 kind of seems like okay, you know what I mean. But anyways, I picked up the shade 330 Hazelnut, and that's what we're gonna go in with. I hope it works because I only picked up 1 shade, girl. And I thought it was super weird how the foundation is £10 and then the concealer is like $9.99. So it's kind of like, I feel like the concealer should have been maybe $6, $7. Why is this £10 concealer? But anyways, let me read what it says about the foundation on the website. So it says, meet L'Oreal's new foundation. Okay, for a full coverage, no compromise base for the ultimate resistance. So it says it has full coverage. So let's just go ahead and try this out. I'm gonna pump it onto my hand so we can see the color. Oh, it's quite a runny formula. The color looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna put this straight onto my face. So that was about 3-4 pumps, and I'm gonna use a brush to stamp this in because I don't really like coverage that a sponge gives. Okay. It has a smell, it does have a scent to it. It's not super strong, but it does have a scent. Yeah, that's definitely not full coverage. So far, I would definitely say it's a medium coverage. The coverage is definitely not as light as I was expecting. I was expecting it to be like super sheer, like a BB cream, but it definitely is a medium coverage so far. I'm gonna go in with a couple more pumps and see if I can build it up. And this time I'm going straight onto my face. So I'm gonna take a pump there and a pump there, and I'm just gonna stipple that in to my cheek area. It does sit on the skin very like naturally. It is quite a natural foundation, but I can still see my whole like skin scarring, all of that through the foundation, even though I've put 2 layers on. It's even my skin tone really nicely, and it is like not cakey at all. It's sitting on the skin really nice, but there's like no coverage. Not no coverage, I'm being dramatic. There's not much coverage with this foundation. It's not something that I would reach for. Maybe if you don't have scarring and your skin's pretty much, you know, normal or whatever, then you might like this coverage. It does look pretty nice on camera actually, but it's just in real life, it does look very, very natural. If you do like that very natural foundation, then you might just like this. But the good thing is I picked up a concealer in my shade, which is the shade Honey, and I'm hoping this will just go over the spots that, you know, the foundation didn't cover and give me a flawless base, because this concealer is actually meant to be, yeah, it says full cover concealer, targeted or all over. So we're gonna try this now. Okay, so it has a humongous doe foot, which I really like. It's just easy to apply, you know, rather than a small doe foot where you have to keep digging in. I'm gonna put it all over my problem areas, which is kind of like my cheeks, around my mouth, my nose, my forehead, my whole face. And this seems to be like a pretty good shade for me. So like I said, that's 338 Honey. And I'm gonna use the same foundation sponge to stipple that in. Oh yeah, this definitely has more coverage than the foundation. Okay, yes, do you know what? They're pairing together beautifully and they're sitting on the skin so flawlessly. Lately I have been doing like very light layers of full coverage foundation and then going in with like a concealer for areas that I need to spot conceal, if you know what I mean, rather than layering up the foundation. I have been going for that look. Oh, I love that. And it's not cakey at all. Like, it's sitting on the skin so well. Okay, so far I'm loving this concealer for like all over my face. These two together, I'm looking really flawless, like not cakey at all. So now I'm gonna go in with the shade Almond, which is this lighter shade, number 337, and I'm gonna go underneath my eyes with this one. I love that sound. Wow, this one's tight. That's what she said. Oh, that's what he said. So I'm gonna take this shade underneath the eyes, down my nose, and a little bit on the chin. Oh, I forgot to wet my sponge. I'll be back, one sec. Okay, sponge is wet. Now I'm just gonna go and blend this. Hopefully it hasn't dried. I should have done my eyeshadow first. That's what, ooh, coverage. They weren't playing. So when they said full coverage on the foundation, they were drunk. But when they said full coverage on the concealer, they weren't playing. Okay, that's blending really nice underneath the eyes. Really nice coverage on that. I love that shade for highlighting my face. Really, really nice. Yes, honey, that looks so good. These concealers are banging. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is do my eyeshadow quickly. I'm not gonna set my concealer or anything. I'm just gonna let it sit. Just in case I get any fallout, I can go in with a little bit more concealer. But I'm gonna do my eyeshadow and then I'll come back so we can set it and all of that good stuff. Okay guys, and I'm back. So my eyes are done. They are two different palettes. I did go and compare the Beauty Glaze Mars with the Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions. That video should be on my channel already, so definitely check that out if you want to see which palette is which and my thoughts, because one of them is 25, one of them is £2, so definitely check that out. Now, as for this foundation and concealer, they've actually set on my face. Like, I feel like they're not a matte finish, but it's definitely like a satin skin finish. It has creased underneath my eyes, but then again, I haven't set it, so I kind of expect that. So here we are up close, and I hope you guys can see just how flawlessly that is sitting on my skin. It has dried down to like a demi matte finish. It's not 100% super dry and matte, but it's definitely dry. It's not like, it doesn't have much glow to it, but it has a really nice like skin-like finish. So now I'm taking some of the Sacha Buttercup Light Setting Powder, and I'm just gonna push that underneath the eyes to set it. Now I'm going to take my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in dark on this Focal Your brush and just stamp that into my face everywhere. Okay, now taking the Revolution Matte Base Powder, and I'm taking the shade P14 as a contour. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of the Mario Badescu Setting Spray. For highlight, I'm taking the Obsession Mega Honey Highlighter. I used this yesterday and I just fell in love with it. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Woo. Okay guys, and I'm back. So here we have the final look, and yeah, I think I gave you my final thoughts already. The foundation is okay, like it sits really nice on the skin. It is really nice and skin-like. However, for me personally, the coverage is just not enough by itself. If I didn't pair it with the concealer, I don't feel like I would have liked the foundation, but paired with the concealer, it is a beautiful combination. I suppose if you are into that natural everyday medium coverage type of foundation, you will definitely like this. But if you are more of a full coverage girl like me, then definitely grab the concealer with it, and paired together, honestly, you get the coverage that you want via the concealer, but you get the non-cakiness of the foundation as well. They're just both sitting on the skin really nicely. The foundation is kind of like, nah, like I wouldn't go pick it up again. I don't see myself repurchasing it, but I can definitely see myself repurchasing this. I do feel like the price is a little bit up there, especially when you have like the Revolution concealer, the Elf concealer. They're very similar to this, but this one is the most expensive out of all of them. So yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Take care, bye.